Well, this story is out there on many levels, and I will just try to get to the facts and just clarify the situation because I am still a little confused as to what happened. But essentially, this gay kid got involved in Scientology, was into it for a while, apparently had some doubts, and left, but then came back, and the Scientologist basically shook him down for the money, and in the process discovered he tried to contact the Aftermath Foundation. And that's where we're starting to get these conflicting narratives of what happened. So the kid got pushed out due to the gay, but also not having money, and he was stranded and reached out to Mango, who is a very OG activist. He comes from the 2000s. He is also gay, has been very active in fighting Scientology, at least decades ago, but no nice way of putting it, he got backstabbed by Mike Rinder, Karen de la Care, and others for exposing that Karen was auditing secretly him and other people for money, and Mango thought of this as fraud. I agree. Exposed Karen, and Mike Rinder turned his back. So did Karen and Claire Headley and other people. Though Claire played a minor role, but yeah, she kind of just tried to forget he ever existed. And now, surprise, surprise, who runs the Aftermath Foundation but Claire Headley and Mike Rinder? So apparently, this kid did reach out to the Aftermath Foundation, apparently like a month ago, and they were working on his case, but still nervous that they wanted more references. But he was in desperate need, so Mango contacted his community, and guess who? Aaron Smith-Levin. And Aaron, apparently, after speaking for several hours, said, "Okay, I'm going to help out." He gave $300, and the kid was given a flight back. So he's presumably in his home state at this moment and trying to reconstruct his life. So, what do we make of this? Well, obviously, the Aaronites and Mango are saying, "Oh, that cruel and evil aftermath. How could they betray the gay? What is going on, Claire? I demand answers." La 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 la. Now, there's like a lot of preemptive bias on all sides here. I think Mango comes out pretty well, but I do think he did spread misinformation, but perhaps not deliberately, because this kid's story is a little shaky. And listen, it happens. If you're a kid, you're stupid. And this kid is really beyond stupid that he didn't have that much money anyway, was just pouring the money into Scientology, and they ruined his credit by putting out these credit cards, draining his reserves. And for whatever reason, he was about to leave, but they convinced him to come back. And he handed over his phone, and his phone had an app with the aftermath on it. And you're like, this is not a very intelligent kid. This does reach me at a very personal level. However, two things can be true: that you want to prepare yourself in life. So this kid clearly is not that smart and got in way over his head. And it could have turned out way worse, but the Scientology people just pushed him out, and he was in need. And Mango did what he could and gathered some resources. Does Aaron come out a hero here? No, but you would have to grant he was being a little decent. He didn't have to give any money, and the SPTV Foundation, through I presume its organization, was able to do some things. But this is the dilemma, that Claire is running a professional charity, and good or bad, professional charities have to maintain some rules and bureaucracy. Again, this kid seems to have fallen between the cracks. Now the aftermath people saying no, no, they were working on his case, and presumably this case just kept moved way too fast and they couldn't keep up, which will happen. But still, presumably the answer is they need to be more flexible in helping people and perhaps set up emergency funds, maybe get more people on the board who are specializing in homeless people or homeless youth, so on and so forth, because they actually do have a gay member, Michelle, but she's a veteran and does have a background like with mental health, I think, but not this specific subject. So we'll see. Claire, I'm sure, will answer some questions, hopefully, and be more transparent, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to put out a video, and I'm not going to change anything there, except, I guess, some little audio things to make it sound better, where Aaron has been pictured with some babes chilling out in a pool. And I stated, exaggerating as a parody, that, oh, Aaron must be taking a relaxation at the pool after saving 50 children or something. Well, to be fair to him, he actually did spend time helping someone. Maybe not exhausting himself, but it's like, okay, he did help someone. So that contextualizes that photo a little bit better, because it does sound really grotesque that only a few weeks ago he was whining about children like Surge. Oh, the children in the Nimkiss, yada, yada, yada. And then he's chilling in the pool. It just looks really awful. But apparently he has actually been doing some real work. He hasn't really put out content for a while, so it's like, okay, well, apparently he was handling this case. That's good. He spent the resources correctly. I mean, it's $300. Let's not exaggerate. Aaron has way more money. And Mango, frankly, does have, from what I understand, a really big house. He could have just said to the kid, hey, just sleep on the couch a couple days, get yourself situated. So there is a lot of false virtue on all sides. However, I do understand Mango's anger. And listen, they did. They backstabbed him and tried to basically black him out, right? Just doing this media silence campaign, pretending he didn't exist for years and years. So him being sore and suspicious of the aftermath, it's fine. That is understandable. But it seems like this kid's story is a little shifty and he's may have exaggerated because Stephanie, and I want to stress, I don't believe Stephanie. I don't like Stephanie. But and believe me, when I was reading her Reddit, like I was like coming in, I don't want to believe you. But then I'm looking through it more. I'm like, oh, okay. So apparently he wasn't technically homeless. He was staying with some friends. So what is homeless? I would assume if you don't have a stable home, you can legitimately say you are homeless, even if you're staying with someone else. Like I was legit homeless. I was in like a hotel room for several days, and I was panicking. So, what is homeless? And I don't like getting into my biography. I don't like doing that. I don't. Believe me, it is very frightening. Being homeless at any level is extremely, extremely stressful. So I do feel some sympathy. However, it did seem this kid was just being stupid and getting involved in Scientology. It luckily led to nothing serious. They pushed him out. I mean, it is such a weird case because really we concentrate on getting people out. He's out. So the difficulty is not him out, but now, okay, what's his next stage in life, I guess? And the aftermath does do things like that. But yeah, this is definitely a weird case. So the ideal thing is there needs to be foundation for this kind of in between area. Okay, fine. The main thing is get them out. But now that they're out, how are they going to work in the real world? And let's be very clear that both foundations are very corrupt. So Aaron's organization suffers from almost no bureaucracy, and the Claire Foundation suffers from too much bureaucracy. Obviously, the solution is find a middle road. Ideally, Claire should be getting rid of, frankly, her husband and maybe Mike Render, diversify the board, not have so many couples, be more transparent. Will that happen? Probably not. And Aaron needs to be more bureaucratic and have more professionalism and have a professional staff. Is that going to happen? Nope, that's not going to happen either. So we are right back where we started. Still, good on Mango for doing what he did. As far as where I am with this, frankly, nowhere because Mango got the story from Instagram. I do have an Instagram account, but I barely ever check it. Apologies if you do send me messages. It will take a while for me to get back. I just barely check it. I am more active on Twitter. I do put out a lot of tweets. I put out the videos when I can. So frankly, I was like, I have no idea what the hell is happening. I was like, what the hell is this? So, because I know the inevitable question, well, what about you? Why don't you do? What about you? Listen, I'm not in California, so I have no connection to any of these people at all. I just learned about this like literally a day ago. So I'm like, oh, okay. So listen, two things can be true. I can try to provide pretty good updates from frankly an expert point of view, but I do have limits on resources and time. So I can do the stuff when I can, and that's what I'm doing here, catching up. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's more in my self interest to do, let's be brutally honest, videos mocking Aaron, DOA, Streets LA, and those people. Those get way more views. But I do think it's responsible to try to be a little bit more factual and less heated and biased than these other channels. And that's what I try to do. But again, I can only do that when I can do it. So that's why I keep stressing, please sub. Please, if you can, purchase a channel membership because every little bit does help. So hopefully this has been informative. This is obviously an ongoing story. At this stage, I think it's the kid probably just gave Mango some, frankly, lies or fake details, and Mango ran with it. It's understandable. He has a vendetta with those people. That's understandable too. I don't think this is a case of him doing propaganda for Aaron. It's just like two things can be true. Aaron is trying to look like a hero, right? He's going to do propaganda for his side. And maybe Mango did not double check a few things because, frankly, like why? I mean, the basic story does pan out, but it seems like a few details this kid probably exaggerated a few things, which is understandable. He's in a very bad situation and wants to, right, get the most sympathy. But yeah, some of his details I don't think quite work out with his timeline. But that's my opinion. And there we are.